Hello and welcome to this video. I tried recording this actually a couple days ago, but then I found out that the audio was completely ruined and there was no audio recorded, so I had to scrap what I had recorded, and here I am now to record a new video. Today's video is a vlog about what I've been going through the last couple months, including stuff with my health and stuff behind the scenes. A lot of people don't really know what's been going on. Some people have come and gone in the channel, and like some people know what's happening, but some people might not know the whole story. So I know a YouTube video is kind of nice to get everybody on the same page, and just so I can communicate this information a lot easier across so many different platforms with all the different cover members all over the place. So that's what this vlog is going to be about. A couple months ago, I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder. I knew I kind of might have had it. I wasn't 100% sure what was going on with it. My grandma has been diagnosed with bipolar, and so I figured, I was looking more into the symptoms of bipolar, and I saw that I was displaying a lot of these signs of bipolar. So I made an appointment with a psychologist who confirmed to me that yes, you most likely have bipolar based on the things that I was telling her. And so she referred me to a psychiatrist. We immediately began treatment. Bipolar is not one of those mental disorders where you could just do it naturally, changing your diet, getting more exercise, getting fresh air or something. Like there's some of these like very like quick fixes for some of the mental disorders that are out there, but for bipolar it's not that simple. You actually have to treat it kind of like schizophrenia. Unfortunately, they're very closely linked from my understanding. So it's not like you can just do it naturally and then you're good to go. You actually have to have medication and be treated medicinally for bipolar. So began my journey into bipolar medications and figuring out which ones would work for me. We started with lithium. Lithium was working quite well, but then apparently my kidneys were shutting down, so we had to stop that. There was a few other medications between then and now, one of which raised my white blood cells, which was a little concerning, so we discontinued that. There was another medication that I was trying, and for some reason my ankles were swelling up really, really bad. And I didn't have this problem like with any of the previous medications, but it was as soon as I started this medication, I had really swollen ankles to the point where after stream most times, I had to literally go and lift my feet up because they were just so swollen. And it was quite painful. And I told my doctor, this is what's going on. I don't know if it's the medication doing this. Like, is this even a side effect? And she was like, yeah, it could be a possible side effect, so let's try something different. So we tried a new medication, and my ankles were still really swollen. I had purchased some compression socks, thanks to Safeway Bandit's recommendation, and those seemed to help. So I would put those on right as stream was starting, so it really helped with the swelling. But the issue was still there, that my ankles specifically, were really, really swollen. And during this time, I noticed that my appetite was non-existent. Like foods that I enjoy, like Taco Bell, pizza, the junk food, I was really struggling to convince myself to consume these foods because I was just at a point where I just didn't feel very hungry. And so I was beginning to lose a lot of weight very rapidly. And normally I weigh between 120 or 130 pounds. But during this time period, I had lost so much weight that I actually was weighing only 105 pounds, which is a huge drop for me specifically, because I wasn't going out of my way to like work out, or I wasn't cutting back eating. Like I was actually forcing myself to eat most times. And it got to a point where I was just losing so much weight and I wasn't eating enough that my family and I just basically were like, just feed me anything at this point. Like, so I was just like trying to eat junk food, anything that I could just eat. And like I would just get sick from it essentially. Like all the foods that you really enjoy that you would think like you would just chow down, I could only eat so much of it, and then I would get like full. I'd feel like sick. It was awful, and we didn't know what it was. We thought it was the medication, but then after some time we were like, you know what, it's probably actually my thyroid having issues. As some of you know, I do suffer from hyperthyroidism. That's where the big eyes come from, actually, in case you're ever curious. It's because of this disorder, I guess I would call it. Literally my thyroid just is overactive, and it does go through periods of becoming hyperactive, and then we would get it treated. Usually I would go see like a naturopathic doctor, and we would naturally treat it, and it would go away, and then I would like kind of stop taking the medications. Like it was all natural pills and stuff. I'd stop taking those and just have a normal life, and that would be fine for like several years. Like years would go by, and then I would show signs of hyperthyroidism. But this time around, the symptoms for my hyperthyroidism were completely different. This time around, the symptoms for my hyperthyroidism were not what they were before. So this time around, I was like, wait, could it be the thyroid? And so I went and got checked, and I got my test back, and yes, it was confirmed that I was hyperactive with my thyroid. And I immediately went back to old ways, essentially, where I called up my naturopathic office. My naturopathic doctor that I normally work with, she's really busy these days. She's in high demand. A lot of people love her. She's wonderful at what she does. So I was assigned to a different naturopathic doctor, and we started some treatments which I wasn't familiar with based on my experiences in the past. There were some things that my naturopathic doctors in the past would put me on, and I knew like kind of the process, but this doctor wasn't really putting me on the same medications. The only thing that was similar was a medication called Thyrocalm. It's a natural suppressant of your thyroid gland. It's just natural herbs that are known to help calm the thyroid and also help calm the immune system, which is what is actually causing the issue. It basically attacks the thyroid, thinking that the thyroid is a foreign object in one's body. So that's what happens. It's an immuno something or other. It's what you need to know is the immune system is just like, oh, this thyroid thing is not part of our body, and just like attacks it and tries to get rid of it. So the Thyrocalm is to help calm all of that down, and normally it would work, but this time around it was barely doing anything. And it got to a point where I was just like, I feel like I'm dying. I've lost a lot of weight. I had no energy for anything. Like I was really struggling. I was struggling to go to bed. I couldn't wake up in the mornings. Like it was just like a whole mess of things. So I decided to go see an endocrinologist that my naturopathic doctor actually referred me to. On the day of my endocrinology appointment, the endocrinologist canceled my appointment and then told me essentially that they don't accept the insurance that I have. After waiting months for this appointment, by the way, because this endocrinologist was in high demand as well, and so I had to book like a month or two in advance. On the day of, after waiting months and months of suffering, this endocrinologist had the nerve to just cancel my appointment on the day of. I was livid. I was really upset. It was a horrible time. I had to basically scramble around to figure out how I could go see another endocrinologist. I had to go through my primary doctor to get a referral to a different endocrinologist. And during this time, my naturopath that I was working with, the one that I got assigned to, who was doing like a completely different like remedy plan than I was used to, she was actually leaving the practice to start her own practice, which I hope her the best. But I came to find out after I had been assigned to a new naturopathic doctor that the treatment plan that she had actually put me on was completely like not the best. Like she put me on some sort of like medication that would not help and actually would make things worse. And so I was like, great, that's lovely. the new naturopathic doctor that I was assigned to actually put me on a regimen that I was more familiar with. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is definitely something I'm more comfortable with and I'm familiar with as well. And that definitely helped during that time when I would go in to, or before I would go in to see the endocrinologist. When I finally got to see the endocrinologist, I told them that I did not want to have my thyroid removed. In the past, when I last saw an endocrinologist, which is the main reason why I was more leaning towards naturopathic doctors, the reason why is because the last endocrinologist that I went and spoke to gave me only 3 options for treatment for my thyroid. One is surgery, so you can have your thyroid surgically removed, which is just great. I love the thought of having my neck cut open and having something surgically removed from my neck. Yeah, that's great. But it's okay if you don't like invasive methods. That's okay. They also offered me a pill that was radioactive that would actually slowly destroy my thyroid from the inside out through the use of radiation. Yeah, that was such a great option too. But the third option was even better. The third option was we could prescribe you a medication that completely turns off your immune system. Just turns it off so that it's no longer attacking your thyroid. Cool. You know, actually hindsight is, 2020. If I had gone with any of those options, but specifically the third one, I would be in so much shit because of COVID right now. It would not be funny. Immunocompromised is an understatement at that point, but I digress. So for those reasons, I was very hesitant to go anywhere near an endocrinologist because of that experience. I literally left that office and I never went back to her. But in this office, in this endocrinologist office, I told her, I do not want these 3 options. I hear that there is a medication that helps calm the thyroid. I'd like to look into those avenues. And she is understanding. She understood where I was coming from. And so we began treatment through taking this medication for the thyroid. Fast forward like a month, I get tested again. My thyroid levels are normal now. My body has taken to the medication quite well. In fact, it's so good that we have to cut the medication dosage down, which is awesome. During this time, I gained the weight back. I'm no longer at 105 pounds, but I've gained not only the weight that I lost back, but a little more, which is kind of like scary for me because I'm usually very conscious about like eating healthy and, lifting weights and exercising. I couldn't do any lifting or any like exercising while the thyroid issues were happening because it could aggravate the thyroid. It could make it go higher and like really mess with the treatment right now, because what we were trying to do is just normalize it first, get it normalized, and then we can start like adding things back in and just going from there. So I couldn't work out, and so I gained all this weight and I was just in a panic. I was in a panic. And thankfully, because my levels are normalizing and we could cut back on the medication, I think I'm losing the weight that I gained as well, just a little bit, not like crazy amounts. It's normalizing, which is what we need. And now that my thyroid has been, normalizing, now I can actually really start addressing the bipolar issues, which is, we had to put that on hold until this thyroid issue got addressed because one triggered the other essentially. Like the thyroid is really in charge of like cycles, like your energy cycles, your sleep cycle, your menstrual cycle, just everything. It controls, it can even control your heartbeat. It really does control a lot of your body. And so having this organ just kind of doing its own thing is not good. So now that the thyroid is kind of getting more normalized, now we can actually start looking at bipolar treatment. So we've been able to raise my current dosage with this bipolar medication that I've been taking. It seems to be helping me. I do notice a difference, especially when we go up the dose. I've noticed a change. It's been really helpful, but we still have a bit of a journey left. I'm still waiting for my thyroid levels to really normalize. I'm waiting to continue the dosage, like adjustments for my bipolar medication. It's just a matter of time and being patient. And it's been literally just one step at a time. As I always tell to you all, it really is just taking these one steps after the other. And I really appreciate everybody's support and kindness during this time. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on, at least for my health behind the scenes. I know I don't really talk a lot about it during stream because it's just very long-winded and it's a lot to explain in, you know, a live setting. So I think going forward, I'll just refer people to this video so that they know what's going on. But yeah, during this time, I had all this stuff that I was dealing with health-wise. I lost an impaler. It passed away, and I'm still recovering from that. Especially lately, I've been having a really hard time with stream. I've been really down about things in regards to my stream. I've just had some really bad experiences as of late, just all culminating together to just be this ugly experience that I just am not, it just hasn't been pleasant on Twitch, unfortunately. And this isn't to say that I haven't had good people around me or anything like that. I've met some amazing people on Twitch, including those of you who are watching right now. Thank you for being part of my community and even caring about my vlog. It really does mean a lot, so thank you. It's just been hard. It's just been really hard for me with all of this stuff on my shoulders. I recently had some internet issues as well that were really holding me back. The internet company sent out a technician 3 separate times and they could not figure out what the issue was. My father and I sat down and we went through a checklist of things that we just started working on, and one of the things actually ended up working. My internet has been stable, knock on wood, up to this point, which has been nice. I haven't had any horrible internet drops, which is such a relief, to be honest. I've been really, really grateful for that. But because I had these internet outages, it really actually affected my stream. So where I was averaging around 50, 60, up to 70 people, the internet issues dropped me down to 30, 40, maybe 50. And I'm still holding on to that viewer average, which is kind of devastating to me that I've lost that much viewership just because of the internet issues. It's really upsetting to me, but it's just part of streaming and I have to just be aware of that. I'm very thankful to those of you who were super supportive. This last Saturday, I kind of broke down on stream because of everything weighing down on me and just kind of catching up to me, I think. And I'm just eternally grateful to the community that I have. Those of you who have stuck around despite all the issues that we've been through truly means a lot to me, honestly. We have been through so much shit together. There's so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes that, you know, y'all don't necessarily know much about. I hope these vlogs can be a bit more insightful for those of you who are interested in finding out stuff that is going on behind the scenes. I know I do them quite rarely these days, but I do feel like they're very useful and really great to communicate to a broader audience any news or any updates. So I do want to do these a little more often. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this vlog. If you like this video, please leave a like to let me know that you like these vlogs. If you'd like to see more of them, definitely leave that like so that I know. Down below in the comments section, I don't know, post your favorite sushi. We were talking about sushi earlier today. I've got sushi waiting for me. So post your favorite sushi roll down below in the comments. I don't care. Thank you so much for watching. And in case you haven't heard it yet today, you are awesome and capable of more than you even realize. Much love, my dears. I will catch you later.